Yo boys, back with another video. Today we are going to be doing a solo shuffle tier list. Before we get started with this video, I had a few people reach out about the coaching and all that good stuff. So I already boosted a rogue, have that going. So we're gonna have some rogue gameplay. The deal will still be on for another day or two. Anybody that has 4 tokens worth of gold, I'll give you 8 hours of coaching or carries. That's gonna last for another day or two. So make sure you hit me up on my Discord and get that done. Otherwise, any other PvP service, let me know. Now, with this video, I've already recorded it once a little bit ago. Well, it was a while ago, technically, like a long time ago, like 12 o'clock, something around that. The audio was so messed up, I literally couldn't do it. I've been messing around with it. It's still not going to be the god tier how I want it to be, but we're just going to have to deal with it. I did it as good as I can, and it's good enough. You can hear what I'm saying, so let's start the video. I'm going to try to make this quick, because again, I've already recorded this. It's literally 7:30 a.m. I'm tired. I don't want to be doing this, but I want to get this content up because I enjoy making it. So we're going to get on to it here. Now, since I've already made this list, I can kind of go through it a little bit quicker. So I'm going to just try to get you guys the information. That way you're just not sitting here for 30 minutes or 40 minutes waiting for useless talk. So, first class we're going to be starting off with is going to be Evoker. Pres Evoker, we all know, is going to be S tier. Where is it? It is just really good. It's going to be the number 1 or number 2 healer, most likely the number 2. The purging ability really counters Rest Druid, so Rest Druid's going to be your top dog for healing. Pres Evoker and Dev Evoker are going to counter Rest Druid because of the purge ability that can auto purge every hot in the game instantly. So that's going to be nice. Dev Evoker is also going to be S tier. Both classes or specs are really insane right now. They do a lot of damage and they're just really viable. Next one that I'm going to be going over is going to be Aug. Aug, I think we all know, is just trash. Nothing more to say about it. Um, yeah, it's just not very good. It hasn't been very good in a while. Maybe it has a comeback coming up, but most likely not. Next class we're going to be going with the Shaman. Shaman's going to be A tier. It's going to be high A. It's good. I don't think it's above Disc, Prez, or Residor, but I do think it's good. Ellie, I think, is also going to be A tier. It's right below S tier, so I think it's high A. I think it's really good. It still does really good consistency. It doesn't do its one-shot damage anymore like it used to, which was made it, the best spec in the game. But it does do it a lot of pressure, and it's really good. Enhancement Shaman, I think we all know, has been trash. The only person that I know that's still playing the spec is Big Dam. He has like 15 Shamans, the loser POV. No offense. If you're playing over 10 class or 10 characters of the same class, clearly you have an issue that yeah, just eat your just watch your Cheeto Puff fingers on your keyboard. Just saying, I'm just saying. Not to throw shade, but I can't, there's no backing that up. I have to just say what I gotta say. Next one I'm going over is going to be Monk. Monk I think is also really good right now. It's gonna be A tier. Um, there's not really much to say about it. Defensively, it's not the greatest, but offensively, you're doing a lot of damage, and you're going to see an okay amount of these guys. Not as much as Ellie, but you'll still see a good amount of them. Mistweaver, I think, is going to be a really bad healer, and the reason is if you guys haven't noticed, their shield, so their orb thing, is useless. You're literally going. It literally only absorbs like 6 mil to 10 mil. People are doing that in literally like 3 seconds. If you guys haven't noticed on the beta and stuff like that, their shields were literally gone in like milliseconds. So hopefully that gets fixed. It's like a holy priest with no defensives. A healer with no defensive cooldowns that are useful. The healer ends up not being good. So overall, it'll be good. But in solo shuffle, I don't think they're going to be good at all. I think they're going to be one of the worst healers, if not like holy priest level bad. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Next spec that I'm going to be going over is going to be Warlock. I honestly think Warlock, all 3 specs are going to be A tier. I think Affy's going to be the best, or Destro. Demo's obviously just a control class. It's kind of like a sub rogue, so even when it's not the best, it's always usually low A or A tier. But yeah, I think if Destro has they made it to like Immolation is an instacast and all that good stuff. But I still think Affy will still be the best. You'll see a lot of Affy Assass rogues and stuff like that still. Pretty much what we've already been seeing. But I don't think they're high A, but I think they're still A. They're like where Windwalker is pretty much. So Ellie's still the best caster out of these, and that's pretty much that. That's for now. So Destro could easily come up and Affy. Demo is just a control class that will you'll see him with like Frost Mage and on Holy DK, stuff like that. Next one that we're going to be going over is going to be Warrior. Fury Warrior is obviously going to be S tier. It's going to be one of your better DPSs. A bunch of consistent. It's basically like a steroided Ellie or a Arms Warrior, something like that. You're just doing a bunch of damage all the time, 24/7 burst. You're having a great time and you're doing damage. Arms Warrior I also think is below Fury Warrior, but still either low S or S tier in general. It's doing a lot of burst damage, and then obviously any Arms Warrior that has a lot of burst damage is going to be really good because you're going to see a lot of these in solo shuffle, but just because of the sharpen, and overall it's just ability to stop people from healing, and just the cleave abilities are just insane. So I still think you're going to see a warrior in every other lobby. They're just really good. They're really useful to have. You know, having that sharpen, having all that together is just going to be really nice. Even if they're not doing insane, a million damage a second, they're still going to be a lot, you're just going to see a lot of these guys. They're doing really good right now. Next one that I'm going to be going over is going to be Druid. Um, Pharaoh Druid's going to be A tier. It's going to be around where Windwalker is. It has really good potential. It does really good bites, and it does. I think people are going more towards a bleed build now. So you're doing a lot of bleed build. They did kind of. I think they did kind of nerf the bite build because they were doing like 3 million bites on the beta. Now they're down to like 1.5, which is really good. It's like sub rogue level, but I don't think it's S tier good. And the reason is it's mainly because it has to cast for CC. It's not like a sub rogue where you can just CC. That's why sub's going to be higher on this list because it's basically like it does more damage, but it doesn't have as much control because you obviously have to cast Cyclone. That's the only difference. If it didn't have to cast Cyclone, it would be better than Sub Rogue. Next one I'm going to be going with is Wrestler, which is obviously going to be your best healer spec to play. I think we all kind of know that. Next one is going to be Boomy, which is surprisingly also going to be one of your better DPSs. If you haven't seen Super Tease's video on his Boomy, I suggest you go check it out. I said it in my last video, I'll say it this one. He was doing 1.2 million consistent damage, and then if you saw his burst, now again, stuff can change, so this might not change, but still, I think Boomy's going to be A tier regardless, even if it gets nerfed. But it's doing really good damage, really good CC, and they did nerf bear form, so instead of having to sit in bear form 90% of the game, you're literally just, there's no point. It's like a last ditch effort. It's like, okay, I'm going to die, I might as well try to click it, or try to pre-click it. But now you can kind of just sit out of form and do damage. And, people aren't going to be, they're like, okay, bear form healing doesn't do anything. It's not really that useful, and that's pretty much that. Next one we're going to be going over is going to be Mage. Frost Mage is obviously, again, S tier, doing an insane amount of consistency. Its Ice Lances are pumping. It's a really good spec. Probably the best caster in the game right now, other than like Boomy, Dev. These three are going to be your top dogs for now. But that's pretty much that. And that's for caster-wise, obviously. Next one I'm going to be going over is going to be Fire Mage, which is obviously going to be B tier. And we obviously know why. Again, I'm saying obviously a lot because it is literally obvious. A lot of these classes, we've seen so much on tier lists that it is literally getting to my head. I've seen these classes so many times. Next one is going to be Arcane, which I was going to think is going to be low A. It's still going to be A tier and better than Fire Mage, mainly because it is doing pretty good consistent damage. Maybe not the best, but it also has burst damage, and it is a fun spec in general. I think just overall it's a nice spec. It's going to be good. Are you going to see an insane amount of them? No, but I think they're going to be good. Or okay, they're going to be playable. Not like Fire Mage and, these other specs that are just going to be hard to play. These other ones is going to be Hunter. Hunter is going to be pretty much a little bit higher than the other casters. So it's better than Arcane and maybe Lock in general for right now. It might be Destro, maybe these two might be a little bit better. So maybe it might be like this. Obviously, don't look at this in order unless I specifically say. So if I say this is low A or high A, then you can base it off that. But this is not in order. Just keep that in mind. But yeah, I think Hunter is obviously going to be. It's good. I don't think it's S tier, and I don't think it's high A. I think it's like medium A, if that makes sense. So it's gonna be. You're gonna see a good amount of these guys. Are they gonna be insane? Probably not. But for right now, they're still good. BM Hunter, I think, is going to be. Honestly, in solo shuffle, I think it's going to be low A. I was going to put it at B, but I think just BM Hunter is always in that spot where it does consistent damage. It's a very easy basic spec to play, and I think it's only going to be good because it hasn't gotten nerfed, and it's still going to do damage, but that's pretty much that. And the reason it's not better than MM still does really good burst damage. BM is a class that nobody really plays it. It's kind of just that spec that does consistent damage, but like at that point you could just play any other spec that does consistent damage and then have burst, because BM doesn't really have burst. It just does consistent permanent damage that's okay. So it's good. I don't think you'll see a lot of these guys. I think you'll see MM way more than any other spec hunter wise, but who knows. Survival Hunter, same spot as BM. Both good, but overall, I don't think they're as good as MM Hunter. I think MM's going to be the top, just because you're still doing really good burst, and pretty much everything you were already doing. You weren't one-shotting, but you're still doing good damn. Next spec is going to be DK. DK is going to be pretty high up in this list. A tier, it's going to be pretty much as good as Ellie and Feral Druid. It's doing really good damage. It's still doing, good, pretty much good everything. I don't know. I guess people just overreacted on the nerf because they're still insane. I still see one in every lobby. They might die quick, but overall, I think you're gonna see a lot of these guys. Frost DK is going to be a little bit lower in this list as well. It's probably going to be Windwalker level. So between Windwalker, Frost DK, and everything below, these guys you'll see, okay amounts of times, but you're gonna see, Feral Druid, DKs, Ellies, and everything above, mainly just every game. Next spec is going to be Paladin. Ret Paladin is going to be around where DK is, so it's going to be at the level of probably Windwalker and Feral, so somewhere around there. Still really good. Are you going to see a bunch of them? Probably not. Now, you may be. The thing is, Ret Paladin it's like in that weird position to where it's a spec that is so easy to play, and it still does really good burst, that you'll probably see a good amount of these guys. So what I'll do is, I think it's probably closer to high A, so we'll keep it there for now. So probably like where DK is, like around here somewhere. Next spec is going to be DH. Now DH has gotten a lot of shade, and honestly, I believe it's going to be around where, it's going to be high, it's going to end up being high A. When every last expansion, so technically we're in the new expansion, last expansion, every single season, DH was top S tier. I guarantee DH will be becoming S tier again, but we just kind of had to wait. But I think it's gonna end up being high A tier for right now. Just mark my words on this. For now. I don't think it's the greatest. I don't think it's S tier, because obviously for some reason I don't know what's wrong with it. It was doing unhealable damage in pre-patch, and then all of a sudden just everyone was like, I just never saw the class again, so I don't know what happened with it. But I think it's good. It's gonna be good. HPAL I think is going to be low A. The reason I think HPAL is going to be better than Mistweaver is just overall. I think HPAL's healing is trash. I think it's going to be worse than any other healer other than Holy Priest. But it does have defensive cooldowns, which is what makes it better than Mistweaver. Mistweaver just doesn't have a defensive cooldown. Orb is no longer that cooldown where it's like, oh, well, I can save my team. No, it's like, oh, I have Revival and I have Orb. Oh, yeah, my team's not going to be able to survive these other classes. At least HPAL, you can use all your cooldowns and survive, just a little bit. Mistweaver, you're just not gonna be able to heal the output that they're putting out. So I'm gonna put HPAL at low A. So it's not really gonna be anywhere near close with Restless Shaman, because Restless Shaman has really good healing, but it is gonna be good. Like, it's gonna be playable, if that makes sense. Holy Priest, I think, is gonna be B tier. These two are gonna be by far the worst healers. The worst healer is gonna go Holy Priest, Mistweaver, HPAL, Restless Shaman, Disc Priest, Evoker, Druid. That's the order right there, from worst to best for healer wise. Next spec we're going to be going with is Disc Priest, which is going to be your third best healer. These are going to be the three healers that you're going to see pretty much most of the time, and then you'll obviously get your Restless Shamans, some HPALs, yada yada, stuff like that. But yeah, I think Disc Priest is going to be insane. I think if you ask Sea-Doo or anybody else that was playing it in the beta and stuff like that, they're going to be like, yo, Disc Priest is going to be insane. Next one that we're going to be going over is SP, which I think is also going to be low A. So it's going to be around where Lock is, maybe a little bit lower, so I'm going to put it like below Lock. Its damage is good when it's free casting, but the moment it gets focused, and in this type of meta, it's just never going to get a cast. And again, specs that require you to cast is a really unique thing, but like they don't get a benefit from casting. So even if they're casting, they're not doing insane damage. If you leave them alone, they're not getting any benefit. It's like, oh, well, I'm doing 550k a second, 600k max. Yeah, this melee is doing 900k to, 900k consistency. So you can see like the big difference and how easy other classes are, and they just get benefit. Like Dev Evoker clicks, it's one cooldown and basically just sits there and clicks it non-stop a channel, and it's doing top damage. Same thing with Boomy, Frost Mage. These classes you don't have to do anything. Obviously, Boomy you have to do something, but I'm saying in general the rotation is so easy that it's just like these other classes you actually at least have to cast. The only one that's not in there is Affy. Affy you just put one cast up and that's it. But that's not, you know what I'm trying to say. Rogue wise, everybody's been winning for Rogue. I think Rogue is low S tier for solo shuffle, and that's for right now. If it gets nerfed again, it's gonna go straight down to low A. But as far as right now, it does damage, and you have control. You have pretty much everything you could want with Sub Rogue right now. Um, it's in a good spot really. I don't really expect it to be high S, but I definitely love that it's low S. It's as long as it's in S tier, I'm fine with it. Perfectly fine. Outlaw Rogue, I think, is terrible. Does no damage, and its consistency isn't even worth playing. Assassination Rogue at least has consistency, and it's pretty much in the same spot that it's always been. It's probably going to be where DH is in Feral Druid. I think DH will probably end up being a little bit higher, but I think right here is fine. Because Feral Druid and Assass are usually like in the same, the boat. Same thing with Windwalker. So I think Assass will still be better than these other ones by a little bit, but not by far. Obviously, we haven't really seen any Assassination Rogue, so we don't know, but I think this list makes a little bit more sense. Now, you guys have to let me know in the comments what you guys think, but this is my personal opinion on this, and that's pretty much that. Hopefully, you guys do appreciate the videos that I put out. Obviously, I do a lot of tier lists, but it seems you guys enjoy them because I get a lot of views. And by the way, one question, if anybody hears this, I don't know if you made it this far in the video, I want to know how to, you know how you, in game, you click that one keybind and it basically takes off your everything so you can like take a screenshot. Because like when I'm trying to take a screenshot and trying to make it as a thumbnail, I'm trying to I don't know the keybind. It used to be Alt Z to like just make your screen like just your screen. It doesn't like show anything else. It doesn't show your keybinds, anything. It's just a blank screen of your in game. If anybody knows the keybind or where I can go in there to switch it, let me know in the comments because I check every single comment and that would help me out greatly because I need to start making thumbnails for these tiers because they just have the same thumbnail every video and it's kind of annoying. So please let me know in the comments. Otherwise, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And I do work hard on these videos. Obviously, I'm up at 8 a.m. trying to do this. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Again, appreciate everybody for watching. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good night or day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure you check out my community tab, because I post stuff there. If you're wondering what I'm going to be uploading next, it's going to most likely be there. Peace, peace.